Today we are going to discuss very important topic, that is photosynthesis in higher plants. Photosynthesis in higher plants. This is very important topic. Before entering into the topic, I would like to define what is photosynthesis. The photosynthesis, literally it is formed photosynthesis, combination of two words. And if you see the meaning, photo means light, synthesis nothing but preparation or production, That means literally it is giving a meaning of that preparation in presence of light. So complete definition, photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction during which inorganic products like carbon dioxide and water is formed into organic substance like glucose in presence of sunlight in the chlorophyll of the green plants. This process is known as photosynthesis. In this reaction, oxygen is liberated as well as H2O is also formed. That means photosynthesis is a photochemical reaction during which carbon dioxide, inorganic molecules like carbon dioxide and water formed into glucose C6H12O6. In this process, oxygen and water is produced. Now, if you see the balanced equation of photosynthesis, 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 and 6O2 and 6H2O. Now, in this reaction, CO2 H2O, which is oxidizing, which is reducing, if you see, means water is oxidized, and CO2 is reduced, means what is the meaning of oxidation? Loss of electron, addition of oxygen, loss of protons considered as oxidation. Means here addition of hydrogens, protons, electrons is known as reduction. Now when you see here CO2 is there, here hydrogen is adding, means carbon dioxide to which hydrogens are added in the process. That is the reason why CO2 is reduced. From here onwards, remaining means hydrogens are just going away from it, hence it is known as O2 is oxidized and carbon dioxide is reduced. In this process, in photosynthesis process, to occur a reaction we need energy. That energy is light energy. The light energy is converted into chemical energy, that is forming glucose. Chemical bond is formed, it is producing energy inside our body. Coming to that photosynthesis, which is considered as very important life process. We already discussed what are life processes, means the processes which are responsible for survival and perpetuation of races are known as life process. Among all the life process, photosynthesis is considered as very important life process. Why? Because in photosynthesis, just now we have saw that glucose is produced, as well as oxygen also produced as a byproduct in the photosynthesis process. This glucose is acting as a foodstuff for entire life process, life or living organisms. Then oxygen is very important gas which is utilized for respiration for all the living organisms. Without these processes, there is no survival of the remaining living organisms. Hence, it is known as very important life process. So, where actually this process will take place, what is the previous history of these. Now when we see that complete equation, the photosynthesis is considered as a anabolic process. What is that, Nana? Anabolic process. What do you mean by anabolic process, sir? Means when a smaller molecules combined to form a larger molecule, that process is known as anabolic process. When a larger molecule just break down and produced into two or many small molecules, means this is known as catabolic process. Means inside the photosynthesis, CO2 is a small molecule as well as water is also a small molecule, which combine to form a large molecule, that is carbohydrate, that is known as C6H12O6. Means two smaller molecules are combined by the process of photosynthesis are forming a large substance, hence it is known as anabolic process. Means photosynthesis is a anabolic process in which carbon dioxide is reduced, water is oxidized. Now when you see this reaction, 6CO2 12H2O gives rise to light and chlorophyll or chloroplast. In this reaction, C6H12O6, in this process 6O2 and 6H2O, and these two are known as reactants of the photosynthesis. These are known as products of photosynthesis. In our earlier classes we discussed that here starch is produced in the photosynthesis by starch experiment. Oxygen is liberated during photosynthesis, can be confirmed by hydrilla experiment, and CO2 is necessary for photosynthesis, can be confirmed by half-leaf experiment, otherwise called as moles experiment. Importance of the water inside the photosynthesis was first given by von Helmont, and importance of the light in the photosynthesis was given by light screen or black paper experiment. The importance of the chlorophyll inside the photosynthesis can be explained by variegated leaf experiment. What is the meaning of variegated leaf? Means the leaf which containing both chlorophyllous and non-chlorophyllous areas. Non-chlorophyllous areas is considered as variegated leaf. In this variegated leaf, when we conduct iodine reagent test with the variegated leaf, where the areas of chlorophyllous areas are turned into dark blue colored, and wherever the non-chlorophyll regions are, does not show any kind of change. That is the reason why with that we confirmed that photosynthesis is taking places inside the green plants as well as some kind of planktons in the aquatic ecosystem. And coming to that, if you see the history of photosynthesis, inside the photosynthesis, if you see Joseph Priestley experiment, Joseph Priestley have told that green plants are purify the air with his Bell-jar experiment. We already know what are the Bell-jar experiment. Inside the Bell-jar experiment, he kept the candle, mint plant as well as mice. Whenever the candle is burning, as mice is rotating up to some time, before introducing the mint plant, the both burning candle is stopped and as well as the mice is got suffocated. But when they introduced the mint plant, there is no suffocation to the mice as well as the burning candle is continued its burning. By that experiment, Joseph Priestley confirmed that air is purified by the plants. Means plants are releasing some kind of thing which is responsible for to regain the deteriorated air. That means purification of air is taking places. The purified gas is oxygen. Oxygen is liberated inside the plant. This was told by lavoisier. Purifying air is considered as oxygen. The name of oxygen is given by Lavoisier. This person told that. Now, when you see that John Ingenhouse told that importance of the light inside the photosynthesis. Just now we discussed the hydrilla experiment in our previous class. In this hydrilla experiment, whenever we keep outside in presence of sunlight, then only water bubbles are formed inside the photosynthesis. If we keep inside the dark, they will not, oxygen will not be produced. Means John Ingenhouse explained that importance of the light inside the photosynthesis. And next, Engelmann plotted action spectrum. What is the meaning of action spectrum? Means effect of the light in the photosynthesis, effect of the different types of component, different types of pigment inside the photosynthesis can be plotted when plotted is known as action spectrum. These can be known or clearly visible with the help of photospectrometer. Engelmann. Next one is Mayer. The Mayer scientist explained that inside the photosynthesis, the light energy is converted into chemical energy. This chemical energy is nothing but glucose, and later the glucose is formed into ATPs. For formation of ATP, we need to just know about phosphorylation reactions. Phosphorylation reactions are taking places inside the plants to form a ATP. This was given by Arnon. And even inside that, Julius van Sachs explained that the first material inside the leaf is starch. The first material which is formed inside the photosynthesis is starch, which is given by Sachs as well as Dijassour, and one more scientist, Dutrochart, also studied about the starch, as this starch is produced just because of chloroplast and chlorophyll molecules. And in this, Robert Hill proved that oxygen is liberated during photosynthesis. He worked on purple sulfur bacteria. Instead of water, he has used H2S. In this reaction, sulfur is formed inside the purple sulfur bacteria. So Robert Hill proved that oxygen is liberated during photosynthesis. It is not from the CO2, it is from H2O. That was explained by Rubin and Kamen. These two scientists have proved that the oxygen which is liberated in the photosynthesis is not from the CO2, but it is from the H2O. They have used H2O18 isotope. So it was clearly explained that the oxygen which is produced not from the CO2 but from the H2O. Rubin and Kamen. Next one, after completion of him, Melvin Colvin and his co-workers explained the complete dark phase of the photosynthesis, and in this how glucose is formed and how the regeneration remaining all the process they have just explained. They worked with the CO214 isotope, and they worked on a algae called chlorella. Chlorella also called as astronaut plant. So this is a general history of the photosynthesis. So whenever we see the photosynthesis majorly containing some kind of factors. The factors of photosynthesis. There are two types of factors are there. The first one is known as internal factors. The second one is known as external factors. internal factors are available inside the plant, that is known as chloroplast and water, and the external factors are carbon dioxide as well as sunlight. Carbon dioxide as well as sunlight considered as external factors. And if we see what is the effect of sunlight and the photosynthesis, before entering into the what is the mechanism that is going to show on the photosynthesis, we would like what are the properties of light first. Now, when you take the properties of light, light is a part of electromagnetic radiation. And it is just starts from 0.01 to 10,000 nanometers wavelength. Means when it is move like this is light is traveling in a wavy manner. The distance between two crust to trough is known as wavelength. When we take the wavelength from initially 0.01 to 10,000 nanometer, which electromagnetic radiation consists of all types of radius, means it contain ultraviolet rays, UV rays, IRS infrared rays, visible light and cosmic rays, radioactive rays and etc. rays are present. Especially the visible light lies between 100 to 1000 nanometers, especially 400 to 700 nanometers. This is a wavelength of the visible light. This is considered as PAR, which means photosynthetic active radiation. Among these complete nanometers, here 400 to 700 nanometer considered as photosynthetic active radiation. Why? Because in between these only the process of photosynthesis, this light only utilized for the formation of the food material. This is lies between UV rays to infrared rays. In the middle 400 to 700, if you take 0.01 and 0.1, next one 10, next one 100 and afterwards 1000, 10,000. When you take the graph, from these 400 to 700 considered as visible light. Before the visible light, ultraviolet rays is there. After the visible light, IR rays are there. That means here the visible light lies in between UV rays to IR rays, and the light particles are known as photons. The light particles are known as photons. The energy present inside the light particle is known as quantum. This quantum energy absorbed by a pigment, the pigment is known as chloroplast. This is regarding light. Always this is regarding light. Next important factor is sites of the photosynthesis. Here when you see water, very important, as well as carbon dioxide is available, there are no okay. If you see carbon dioxide, second factor, carbon dioxide is present in the atmosphere and the percentage of carbon dioxide is 0.04%. Now water is available inside the plant. Our plants are taking the water by the process of osmosis, and carbon dioxide entering into the plants through the stomata with the help of simple diffusion. And one more, sunlight, just now we discussed. These all are gathering in a particular site, that is known as site of photosynthesis. And next we are going to explain about the sites of photosynthesis. What is that, Nana? Site of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is taking places in green colored parts green parts of the plants which are leaves especially, and in which there is a pigment is present. The pigment is known as chlorophyll. Pigment is known as chlorophyll. Means the name of the chlorophyll was given by Pelletier and Cavento. Pelletier and Cavento. And the chemical structure of the chlorophyll was given by Frey and Whistling. Frey and Whistlings. And according to them, these chlorophyll molecules present in a organelle called chloroplast. And first we will discuss about the chloroplast structure, then after we will come to the chemical structure of the chlorophyll. Now if you see the chloroplast is a which is formed from two Greek words which are known as chloros, and next one is known as plastos. Chloros mean grass green structures and plastos means some molded structures. The grass green molded structures are known as chloroplasts. These are present especially in mesophyll tissue of the leaf. And if you see the structure of the chloroplast, especially which containing a disc like discoid structure and which is surrounded by which containing three layers. The outer two layers are formed as a envelope. This envelope is known as chloroplast envelope, through which carbon dioxide and water will be carbon dioxide diffusion will occur. And next, inside the chloroplast there are a fluid like structure is present. This fluid like structure is known as stroma. This stroma containing some kind of granules, some kind of DNA, 70S type of ribosomes. Along with that, one more membrane formed as a piled rounded bodies. These piled rounded bodies are known as granum, and each one is known as grana thylakoid, and it is total is considered as granum. This total is known as granum, and these granas are interconnected by some vessel like structures which is known as stroma thylakoid. In this grana thylakoid there are some kind of pigments are present. These pigments containing some chlorophyll and some kind of other accessory pigments which formed as a LHC, light harvesting complex. Means these parts are actually responsible for absorption of the light and initiate the photosynthesis process. Here on the grana thylakoid, two pigment systems are there. On the stroma thylakoid, only one pigment system is present. Now next, in this and DNA molecules also present inside it. So whatever the proteins are required for it, it will synthesize itself, hence it is known as semi-autonomous molecules, or it is considered as semi-autonomous molecule. The remaining classes we will discuss later. Thank you.